Hey, you made it. It's about to get deep, so get comfortable, get ready. But don't worry, it's just us. Hey, you made it. And if you've been wondering where I've been, you're about to find out. So this newfound platform is called It's Just Us, where it is a faith-fueled, transparent, safe space. Faith-fueled meaning we're going to do a lot of God talk, okay? A lot of God talk, and a safe space meaning we're going to cover as much as we can within a safety realm. So today, my very first episode, I had to start with none other than the closest person to me, my best friend and my boo-boo, my man. So, hey, boo.
What's up, baby?
Hey, boo.
What's going on?
How you feeling?
I feel good. I'm happy for you. I'm glad that you are stepping out of, I would say, a comfort zone and putting your life on camera.
I am putting my life on camera, which is something that I never thought I'd do, but I am grateful that you're doing it with me.
Absolutely.
So you ready to get deep?
Let's get deep.
You ready to get no, like for real, you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So first and foremost, like I said, this is my man. So before we can even get into all of our business, we have to talk about who you are, who we are, how we got to be a thing. So let's back up. Introduce yourself.
Okay. My name is Alphonza Hicks. I am CEO and owner of True Culture Barber Lounge here in Atlanta, Georgia. And yeah, I'm a licensed barber, entrepreneur, and full-blown husband and dad.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so tell us how old you are. Don't give us a surface bio. Give us like who AJ is.
31 years old. I'm from Beaufort, South Carolina. Been in Atlanta since 2010 now.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, left South Carolina to explore new opportunities because I was, in a box down there where I wasn't making the right decision. So, moved up here with my dad, and it's been opportunities after opportunities ever since.
Okay, that was nice. Did you practice that?
I didn't practice that.
Okay, well that was good. That was good. So you said that you're a master cosmetologist. So for anybody who doesn't know me or AJ, our story started like 13, 14 years ago.
Yeah.
13. Yeah. So as he mentioned, we are both licensed master cosmetologists. We met in beauty school, and we were the youngest two there. And we're pretty much still rocking this thing.
Yeah, yeah.
We've been married going on 6 years.
6 years?
Almost 6 years.
It's a long time.
Yeah, it's been 6 years. In February.
Yeah. It'll be 6 years.
Yeah, it'll be 6 years. So we've pretty much grown up together.
Literally.
Yeah,
we're teenagers.
We've pretty much grown up together. We have a 9-year-old, which hopefully you guys don't hear him yelling in the background because he is on that game. But yeah, our story has been beautiful overall. But I think that, like I said, that we've grown up together, so we've experienced a lot of different things.
We have.
Okay, so like I said, we got started back in beauty school, and we've been. Is that Chico?
That is our dog downstairs.
Okay, y'all might hear the dog too. I'm sorry. So like I said, we started in hair school. Here we are now. So tell us just a little bit more about your business, and then I'll kind of spin off of that.
Well, I opened my first barber shop literally in the midst of the pandemic. I signed the contract to buy the shop in December of 2019, and like officially took over like March 1st, I believe, of 2020. And then, literally like 3 weeks later, like the government announced that there was going to be a global shutdown, and I would have to literally close the doors to the brand new business that I was opening. But really, in that time, I was able to, I would say, really hear from God, because I honestly feel like that first business was like a blessing. I had been cutting hair consistently for like 8.5 years, and honestly, like I was on the verge of like about to stop cutting hair because I'm just like putting in this work, I'm grinding, and like I'm still cutting hair, like, and I just wanted more, and like God just opened up those doors. He blessed me with that opportunity to buy my first shop. Lasted through the pandemic, thank God. And then just about 8 months ago, I was able to, open my second location. Thanks to wifey. I always tell her all the time too, because mind you, she had her shop before me, so I literally like watched her sign the lease. Was there with her every day. We painted, put together stations, put together chairs, and it was just like real motivational seeing you like do that whole process and knowing like, wow, it's really possible for us to be this young. And started on the same level, around the same age to, open up a business. So.
Well, thank you. And you told me that before, but it's always nice to hear it again.
Of course.
So yeah, like Cubby said, we both have had businesses for some time. I've had my business now 7 years. And I commend him all the time for running his two businesses because he's pretty much doing it by himself. But I actually have a business partner, which has been an incredible journey. We have probably grown up with each other as well. We first got together, our babies were small, and now they are just as big as us. So it's just been really, really eye-opening. So you said that God blessed you with your business, and I think it's fair to say that God led us together. So that was then. Where are you now with God?
I am in a place where I feel like God has surrounded me. And when I say surrounded me, I mean literally like put like a glass bowl over my life, because before I feel like, and you know me, like I was hustle man. I was like, gotta have 3, 4, 5 jobs at one time. I had a cleaning company where I was cleaning buildings. I was doing music videos. I was managing artists. I was actually still cutting hair, and I was still running the first location. So for me, I was like, hustle man. But I feel like, God kind of like showed me that I didn't need all of that to, sustain my happiness. I really needed to just, be family oriented with you guys, and just really lock in with one business. So yeah, right now I'm just like running 2 businesses, and I feel like God he's definitely opening my eyes every day. He's pruning me.
That's good. So, as your wife, and like I said, we've been together a long time. Seeing you go from doing so much to finally just slowing down to just maintain and expand on one lane, I think it's fair to say that we both have seen each other's ups and downs spiritually, right?
Definitely.
And we changed so much from when you first started. I mean, I used to look at you like, wow, he can do so much and he's so motivated, but we've also had conversations too where I'm like, are you okay? Like, cause you're running on fumes here. So where do you think, I mean, cause I hear you now saying that like, now you just decided to like buckle down and just stick with one, but when did you get to the point of like, okay, I'm doing too much. Like I'm burning myself out.
I mean, I will honestly say when I kind of just came to the real surface area of not realizing like it had been 5 years since my mom passed. Like, really at her 5-year, anniversary, I really just clicked in me like, wow, it's been 5 years. So I've been literally like negating the fact of, dealing with that with work, like just trying to, keep myself busy. And then, yeah, just, being away from, home late at night, doing different things as far as, music management. It was just like a realization of like, okay, like where do I want to be in life, and where does God need me present, instead of just looking at it from a perspective of like, okay, where am I and what do I want to do? So for me, yeah, that was like really like a big eye opener of just like, really like listening to God, following him instead of, making decisions first and then praying and asking him to, bless it or oversee it or making sure I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, has God always been a part of your life, or do you feel like maybe you knew a little bit and then you came to know God in your own way? Like how's that transition?
I definitely grew up in that church now. Like,
yeah, okay.
For sure. Like every Sunday, my grandma would make sure that we was in church. so much to the point where like I would like literally like try to spill some juice or something on my shirt like right before we walked out the door just so I couldn't go. But she would just make me put on another shirt and then I was going. So it's kind of like God in the church has always been in and a part of my life, but it really wasn't until like I've gotten older that it really was like, wow, like all the stuff that, you know, my mom and my grandma have been trying to tell me and show me, like, you really need God to sustain a positive lifestyle. So yeah, that's where I'm at now. I feel like, you know, getting introduced to it young helped me to see some things young, not understand it, but actually see it. And now that I'm older, like I actually understand everything. So that was definitely a big impact on my life for sure.
Yeah, for sure. To piggyback off what you said, like growing up, and it's crazy because now that we're even talking about it, I don't have any memories of church prior to like maybe like 8 or 9. Like I'm like, what was I doing? But anyway, so like you said, like I was in church. My mom kept us on everything from the praise dance team to helping in children's church. She had us in the choir one time and can't none of her kids sing.
What you say you was a soprano?
Let's not. Don't do that.
What you say?
Okay. I was I was briefly a soprano until they realized that someone was singing a little off key. And then I moved over to the alto. Yeah. So, you know, so basically like church was a thing. But it wasn't until once we moved from North Carolina, we moved here that I had like a very estranged relationship with my dad. And I think because going to church and being involved in church wasn't a part of my rhythm anymore. Mm-hmm. When we got here, I think we had probably been here like 4 or 5 years, and then high school started where I'm like, you know, something feels like it's missing. And then I had gone to a church service, and the pastor mentioned something about your relationship with your earthly father can dictate how you look at your spiritual father. And it was like a light bulb just went off for me. It was just like, oh, wow, you know, like no wonder there's such a disconnect. And I think that was like, I'm going to just say just chipped away at like, okay, perhaps God does have a purpose in my life. And then fast forward to now, been through everything from, you know, having a kid, meeting you know, going to hair school, starting my career, starting a business, you know, just all the normal ups and downs that come, I think, when you transition into adulthood, and then from being an adult to being a mom, then being a mom to being a fiance, then to somebody's wife. It's just been a lot, but in the last like, you know, year and a half, like my spiritual journey has just like come full circle. And here we are now where we're talking about Jesus on camera.
We are doing
the thing.
Amen to that.
So, as you know, I got to look at my show notes. So marriage, like I said, here we are. We're at home.
We're at the crib.
So we've been married almost 6 years now. Is marriage what you thought it was going to be?
Marriage is definitely not what I thought it would be.
Okay.
I always used to hear from like the older guys when they would say, you know, when you get married, man, it's going to be harder. And I'm just like, how will it be harder if I'm marrying her? You know what I'm saying? Especially after being in a relationship.
Yeah.
So yeah, marriage is definitely a broader perspective of unconditionally loving and sacrificing, you know, for the person that you love.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I don't even know if I had an idea of what I thought marriage was prior to getting married, but you know, first of all, prior to meeting you, I never even thought I was going to get married. I thought that I was going to be, you know, somebody's fine, rich auntie, you know, come get my niece and nephews, drop them off, you know, I have my own place. You stay over there, I stay here. You know, I never even thought about that, which is so crazy because I talked to so many like younger women or even older women who like fantasize about being married. And I'm just like, I don't know where I was at. You know, I guess I just thought I was going to be a hot girl for the rest of my life. And I don't mean that like, you know, like outside. I just thought like I was selfish. That's what it was. I was selfish. So, yeah, when we met, like I was just, I feel like I just told my client this the other day, but I feel like I saw my entire life in a matter of a few weeks, just like, oh, I want to have his babies. I want to be married. Like just all the crazy sick stuff that you shouldn't even be thinking. But I did think like that. But I can't really say that I had like an outline or a blueprint. You know, my parents were married, and I knew that they loved each other, but I can't say that I saw too many instances where I saw them communicate. Like, I can't say I ever saw them sit down and talk about money. You know, most of my memories are like Christmas time, my dad wrapping up gifts, or my mama cussing him out because he done did something he wasn't supposed to do, you know? So I there was no blueprint for that. So I can't really say it's not what I thought it was, but I'm just learning that it's so much more than like surface level stuff. Like it's so much more than just like, oh, let's go get married, you know, let's move in together. You know, the woman cooks, she cleans. You know, this man be cooking and cleaning. So I mean,
and she be taking out the trash. She does a lot of manly stuff. Right before his camera started, she just lifted a whole laundry basket down the flight of stairs when I was standing right there. So yes, I feel like it's definitely it's a tag team effect with us. So
yeah. For sure. And I think that's important. Like anybody who is getting married, like one, you have to find your own rhythm and do what works for you. So I think where people have like this misconception of like marriage being like this cookie cutter thing and everybody does the same thing, like it's just not realistic. And I think that you'll stress yourself out.
For sure.
So now that we talked about us together, what are some of the challenges? Because you being a husband, you know, the Bible says that you are the head, you know, you're the head. And that means that one can say that there's a lot of pressure there. You know, you have a lot of responsibility on you. What do you feel like are some of the toughest challenges that you've had trying to be not only the head of this household, be a covering for me as your wife, then you're being a dad to our son, then you have businesses, then that doesn't take away from the fact that you're still somebody's brother, somebody's son, somebody's homeboy. So, you know, like what are some of the challenges that?
I would definitely just say the overall balance for real. Like it's kind of like having like a handful of nerds and like you just shaking your hand and like expecting like nothing to drop out of it. So I feel like, you know,
that was good.
Looking at being a business owner, being a husband, being a brother, being a son, it's just kind of like trying to figure out how to balance out like, okay, while I'm at work and you call me and something's going on, okay, now I got to separate being a business owner to being a husband. Or if something goes on with my sister, like, okay, how I can separate being a business owner at that time to being a brother. Or if I'm home and something happens with the business, now I'm trying to separate how to be a husband right now to being a business owner. So definitely like that balance of just trying to like juggle everything it's not easy, but definitely like I feel like every time because it's having a strong relationship with God is a roller coaster. So I can definitely admit to say, you know, there's ups, downs, days where I'm all the way at the peak of the roller coaster and days where I'm like all the way at the bottom. So I feel like long as you indulge in the word and indulge in God and really let him be like the center of your life, like it'll be more easy to balance. Like I feel like it's never gonna not have challenges, but it'll definitely be more easy to balance. So
What do you feel like God has shown you about balance? Like, has he given you like strategy or things that have just given you peace when you do kind of feel like you're trying to juggle too much? Like, what are some things that you feel like he said to you in quiet?
I feel like he's definitely given me strategy, but the main thing is really just to surrender. Like, you know, like just to,
you know, I like that word.
Don't worry, don't stress, just like, hey, I'm here. Give it to me and leave it to me. Because if not, you're going to try to figure out things that the human body can't spiritually figure out. Like, I feel like with God is kind of like some things that are like break us down. Like you give it to him and he'll have the answer for you in a second.
Yeah.
So definitely just surrendering to him for me is like the easiest way to just release that stress, release that balance, and just know that, okay, it's gonna be trials, it's gonna be tribulations, but you know, as long as I keep God first, I'm gonna make it to the finish line.
Right. That's so good. And I think just humans, period. I mean, I hate to say it, y'all, but we really suck. Like humans, we just suck. And I think that too many times we lean on our own understanding, in which the Bible tells us, like, don't do that. Right. But we do that anyway. And we're really just learning. I think that anybody who has gotten to know God, who is still seeking God, like we're really just doing the best that we can. You know, we're doing the best that we can with what we have and still learning how to include God in everything, you know. And I think that's the cool thing about the God that we serve is like he cares about the details. He cares about the small things. He cares about like I stubbed my toe and it still hurt, you know, up against like I'm short on my bills and what's gonna happen, you know, what do I do? So I appreciate that. Now, something else that we have talked about over the last few months is like a wilderness season, you know, because you said like God giving you that answer in a second. Mm-hmm. So what about when he don't give it to you in a second, child?
Which camera? This. I think this camera right here is on me. That wilderness season. Like that wilderness season will stress you out because it comes to a point where you can pray for something and God, you know, reveal it quickly. And then it's like you pray for something and it's like months down the line where God just still ain't gave you that answer. So for me, that wilderness season has been it's been a bit stressful because usually as humans, I feel like, you know, we pray and we wait on the answer, and after a couple of days, we just be like, I'm just go ahead and do it. Yeah. Pray that God, you know, sustains it and blesses it, which isn't the right thing to do. But I just feel like, you know, that's our human nature to just be like, okay, I prayed about it. I gave it to him. I spoke to him about it, but
he ain't do nothing with it.
He ain't do nothing with it yet. So we just gonna make a decision based off of how we emotionally are feeling. Mm-hmm. And yeah, for me, it's just like being in that wilderness. I feel like there's been times where like I'm literally in the wilderness and it's like trees falling, I'm getting slapped by branches. And then there's that time where I'm like in the wilderness and it's just like the coolest breeze, like just kind of slapping me where it's like, bro, this is actually peaceful where I don't know the answer yet, but I know that on the other side of me not knowing the answer, like God already knows the beginning, the middle, and the end of my story. So definitely just trusting in him and just continuing to keep that mindset through that wilderness season.
Mm-hmm. That's really good. I know that I would say like my wilderness season probably like prompted me really into like this spiritual inclination that has come about. And I felt like very lonely, you know, like very lonely. I just like went back through my phone like a couple of days ago and I seen like this video. I think this is when I had COVID. So this had to be like last year, year before last. But I had COVID and I was in the bathroom talking to myself, like just recording. Yeah, I was recording, talking to myself. And I was just talking about how lonely I felt because I had just figured out like, I really want to try to do life with God. You know, like I want to see what's on the other side of obedience. Mm-hmm. And I could just remember feeling like at the time, like, I have friends, but I don't have friends. You know, I have friends, but not friends that are actively trying to seek God. You know, we are together, but like Christ isn't like truly at the center. You know, like he has his relationship. I have my relationship with God, and it just feels really lonely. I just felt like I was on a different wavelength from everybody else around me. And it was crazy. And then I listened to a couple of sermons and they were just talking about praying about community. Mm-hmm. And that's when I really started to realize like, okay, I can't keep saying I don't have community if I'm not praying for God to send me the people that I need in this season, you know? And, it was crazy because the people who I feel like I cling to now, like they were always around. I just didn't know how to like really utilize them in my life. So I know you were talking about taking on so much and you have so much going on. So what does community look like for you outside of me? Because I think that in marriage, you could say that, you know, we're a big part of your community. You know, your spouse is anyway, because I know you're a big part of my community. But what does that look like for you?
I feel like really just recently I felt that emptiness of not necessarily not having the right people around me, but like having the right spiritual people around me. Like I know, you know, it's friends and family that love me and, you know, want to see me succeed. But I'm like, I really need people who deep down are will go to war with Christ for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like once I did pray for that, that's one thing that God, like, I feel like he knew I needed, but he was just waiting on me to pray for it. Cause the whole time, like I'm an introvert. So I feel like I can fight 100 people versus me and there'd be 10 people there waiting to help me. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, once I like surrendered that to him, prayed for it, like, it's just like just recently in the past, you know, couple of weeks, God has been just opening the doors and people have just been walking in that on a spiritual level that I really get a type of comfort from. So I'm like, wow, like it's crazy how, you know, you can pray for things that you want and God not give it to you, or he delays it, but then you pray for things that you need and God gives it to you immediately. So yeah, I definitely feel like, you know, I have you know, a good group of people that are stepping into my life now, like on a spiritual level, that I can actually trust and tell them, you know, deep down, like this is where I am spiritually and this is where I am mentally, and they, you know, have their best interest to really pray and help me, and you know, we Bible study through those situations. So it's a challenge, but it's like, you know, just surrendering and, you know, like I said, praying for that. God literally was, okay, here you go. I can give that to you tomorrow. So
now you said something good that I got to look in the camera. You said that you want to have people who will go to war with God for you. That was good. You got to dab me up for that. That was good. That was really good. I'm saying because I don't think enough people do that. You know, they are so caught up on trendy stuff, you know, like having friends who just look like how they want to look surface level. You know what I'm saying? Like I hear so many girls, like they take these girls trips, and it's for the pictures. You know, it's really not to connect. It's really not. I want friends that are gonna hold me accountable. You know what I'm saying? If I'm messing up, if I'm tripping, you know, I have my single friends who will hold me accountable about anything. But then I have my married friend where I can be like, girl, he said that I did such and such in my trip, and she'd be like, girl, you got to go apologize to that man, you know? So, or, you know, just other things. So it's like, it's important to have that, but like that was so good that you said wanting to have people who will go to war with God, you know, meaning like you're still acknowledging that God has his hand on everything, you know, but like I want friends that pray for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I want you to pray on my behalf. I want you to fast on my behalf if I'm going through something. Is your son right there?
My son is right there. Hello, son.
Does he have a shirt on?
Yeah.
Do you have pants on? Yes. You want to come say hi? Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Do you have pants on? Okay, you do.
Yeah. Okay, come on. Really quick. Really quick. Okay.
Just wave to whatever camera that you see.
Wave to that camera. Wave to this camera over here. What's your name?
Sorry.
All right. Your parents are shooting some content. You need something?
Yeah.
What you need? Okay, you gotta wait just a second. Okay, just a second. I'll call you so you can get it.
We'll be done shortly, son. Love you.
Love you
too. A snack. So anyway, yeah, but you know, I want friends that pray for me, you know, and will do all the hard things when I don't got it to do the hard things for myself. So absolutely. Now in closing, is that your dog?
That's our dog down
Okay,
there.
sorry. Sorry.
We might have to cut it and start over.
Yeah, Jeremy, I think we got to stop real quick. Just so we can. No worries. Is he gonna stop?
Chico, are you behaving?
No.
He's done.
Are we still recording? Can we?
We're still recording.
Okay.
We gonna I guess edit that.
Yeah, you might keep a little blooper. That's fine. All right, where are we at on time?
No, I gotta check this one.
It's okay. I'm to my last topic, so.
We're almost at 30 minutes.
Okay, that's perfect. Okay. So in my last topic that I wanted to talk to you about. Growing up, I always heard the word submission, and thought that it meant like you're weak. You let your man walk all over you. You know, you let him tell you what to do. You know, and it was just, Kahari, close your door, please.
And don't be yelling, son, because we're still recording. So, if this camera is on me, this is the real parenting part that people don't be understanding. Like when you really got your kids with you all the time, it's like you can try to do things like that, and that's gonna happen. But we love it, and this is the part of that entrepreneurship that I feel like, you know, it's a real balance that you gotta partake in. You know, when we trying to, of course, do this, but we still parents at the same time, or we're still, you know, parents to dogs that are down there in the garage. So just that balance of like trying to juggle everything is real.
It is real. It is, and like you said, it's a balance. I heard a preacher say one time, like, you're never going to have balance. You're never going to be able to be 100% everywhere. So you have to figure out your rhythm for the season that you're in, you know? And when he said that, I feel like it just freed me from like trying to do everything, because that's what I was getting into. It's like submission, and what that looks like. And I feel like I'm okay with the fact that like I can't be 100% everywhere. And I'm saying that today, but tomorrow you might have to tell me, remember, you can't be 100% everywhere. But like, just as a wife, like I said, I grew up thinking that being submissive meant that you were weak. You let your man tell you what to do. But it has really just been very eye-opening. So for you, how can you say that you have seen me evolve or not evolve as from a girlfriend to a fiance? Well, really, it was girlfriend, mom, then fiance, then wife. You know, like what was that change like for you? And how did you have to adapt to those changes?
I feel like, you know, when I first met you, of course, like how you said something earlier in the interview of how, you know, you felt like you saw in a matter of weeks, like your whole life flash in front of you. But I've told this story like 1,000 times. Like I feel like when I literally saw you for the first time, I saw my life, our life together flash in front of me. It was just like, you know, as soon as I saw you, just like, wow, like she's gonna be the mother of my kids. She's gonna be my wife. Like we're gonna spend our entire life together. So like just seeing that from you at the age of 17, and then of course rolling over to a couple years later when we had our first kid, it was like a little nervous because I'm like, wow, we still young, we still babies. I feel like, and we got a whole human being that we got to take care of now. To, you know, a couple years after that, like we're just realizing, like, you know, okay, we've been together for a while. We had a kid. Like, I gotta make sure I'm letting you know and letting myself know that I'm taking this relationship serious. So just, you know, of course, getting down on one knee and proposing. And then after we got married, it's like really like a whole nother transition to, you know, just the way I looked at you. So I just feel like it happened in like different phases of just like, you know, the girlfriend phase, I'm not gonna call you the baby mama phase, but the mother of my child phase, to the fiance, to the marriage phase. It's just like really watching you evolve, you know, through all of those different phases. And I feel like, you know, even with the submissive word, I just feel like even as a man, we gotta be submissive, you know what I'm saying, to our wife, because it's just like,
go ahead and get him that Bible, because the Bible say that.
It do.
It's gotta be both ways. Okay,
it do. Like a lot of people be like, oh, happy wife, happy life. But I just look at it like, you know, both of us got to be happy. Like, so happy spouse, happy house. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, you know, for me, I got to be submissive to you too. Like, you know, in order to keep you happy, in order to keep the relationship at a balanced relationship, like we both have to be submissive. We both have to sacrifice, and we both have to, you know, kind of like bite the bullet on certain things that we might not have bite the bullet for when we weren't married, or when we were just girlfriend and boyfriend. So definitely that word submissive, I feel like should go both ways. So fellas, don't take this as no, oh, you weak, you that. Like, bro, be submissive to your lady, bro. If you love her, you gotta like, I'm gonna submit to my wife. If she need me to do something, hey baby, it's 2:00 in the morning, go to the store, I'm going to the store. If she's saying I'm feeling sad, I'm doing that, bring them flowers home, man. Be submissive to your wife. So I definitely feel like that goes both ways. And that's why I feel like with us, like I feel like we probably out of every couple in the world, like we argue the least.
Yeah.
Cause I feel like there's a lot of tit for tat where couples go through arguing, but I feel like we rarely argue. And I feel like, God has blessed us with that balance of being able to sacrifice for each other.
Right. And I mean, it's not, and you said something good about like, we don't argue a lot now, but we've had that a season, we did. We did. So I'm grateful that, we are doing the hard. I feel like we got through the ugly part, but we still continue to do the ugly part, do the hard work. Like we are trying our best to make sure that even though we've got so many different things going on, that we still make time to connect, which is so important in any relationship, but especially in a marriage. I have so much respect for people who have been married for a long time, especially like if they've been married for a long time and you can see that they still like love each other and enjoy being around each other, because you can stay married just to be married, right? But I think we said early on, like, even though we have Kahari, I don't want that to be what keeps us together.
Absolutely.
I want to be with you because I want to be with you. But I also like to think that marriage is like a mirror. All of the good, bad, and the ugly parts of yourself, marriage exposes that. I mean, because you can only send your representative for so long, seriously. I mean, whether that's being put together, you can only do that for so long. So I'm just grateful that we are committed to, how do I want to say it? Committed to being a part of that change, and adapting to whatever the other person needs in different seasons of our life. And I can say, being your wife, okay, not just being a wife, but being your wife, I feel like I went from a young girl who wanted to be valued, and now I'm a grown woman who wants to be valuable. You know what I'm saying? You like that?
Like that.
But yeah, like I don't want to just be like arm candy. You know what I'm saying? Like I really like, okay, how can I pray for him? How can I make his life easier? I feel like years ago it was like this, be his peace, be his peace. I don't think people really understand what that really means, and even though I still, not your peace all the time. I stress you out sometimes. Just sometimes, all right. I am always trying to be mindful of just how can I be valuable, and this is simple things. Like the other morning, you were sleeping. I mean, you were snoring and I was up getting Kahari. I'm not the full-on domestic wife where I iron clothes every day. But this particular morning, it's like, he's sleeping so good. Let me iron my man clothes. That's one less thing he got to do, and it might not have even been a big deal. But
it was
like
a big deal. Something that small. When I woke up and saw those, I was just like, you just cut like 5-10 minutes off of my day. Now I can just get up, do my due diligence, and, I can just throw my clothes on. So even little stuff like that, I would just say, like, that's the part of like, I look at that as submission, like, because you could have just walked past the clothes and been like, oh, well, I'm getting our son ready for school. But like, you took that time out to, iron my clothes. And that definitely, helped me. Even something that small. And I love you for that.
I love you too. Well, thank you for sitting down and having a transparent conversation. I would love to have you back here.
Thanks for having me. I would definitely be back. I just want to tell you that I am extremely proud of you.
Thank you.
You are definitely the closest partner that I have when it comes to, holding me accountable spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. Like, I just feel like truly, like, God has blessed us to come into each other's life to have that good balance. And I just want to, wish and bless your podcast, prosperity, success, and, that it touches the people that it's supposed to touch.
Thank you, Boo Boo.
Of course, baby.
I appreciate that.
I love you.
I love you. Well, guys, that's all the time that we have today. Thank you for sitting and listening in and getting in my business for a little bit. I hope what you heard today blesses you. I hope it pushes you even closer to trying Jesus if you haven't, because you must do that. But until next time, it's just us. Thank you. Bye.